Live from Stone Mountain, Georgia.
Live from Las Vegas.
Live from the Bear Cave in South Carolina.
All right.
All right.
Cheers, everybody.
What's up, guys?
Cheers. Man, if life was any better, I'd be having to hire somebody to help me enjoy it.
Well, if I told you it was going crappy, you wouldn't want to listen to me. So
Yeah,
we're doing peachy.
Hey, I ain't saying nothing. I ain't saying nothing.
Well, I got up and I accomplished the first two things that I try to accomplish every day. I woke up on this side of the grass and I got coffee.
There you go.
Those are the two things I try to accomplish every day. The third is to go to bed with a smile.
There you go.
There you go. Well, I tell folks, I say another day above the dirt's another good day.
Yep. I'm 68 years old and I'm feeling like I'm an infant again because I got my days and nights mixed up. I can't sleep at night. I'll go into bed. I'll get tired. That's when I watch all my YouTube. I'll flip around on that, and next thing you know, shut the lights off and things. Then the wheels start spinning.
Yep.
And it don't stop. And then next thing you know, it's 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock. But that's my.
I've been back to upping my melatonin.
If I take any more melatonin, for Christ's sake, that would put somebody to bed for about 3 months.
Yeah. I had stopped taking it for a while just to kind of detox. I just stopped taking it to kind of flush it out. So then when I did start taking it again, it would work.
Jonesy's in the house. Hello, Jonesy. Simon, what's up, brother?
Hey, Simon. Hey, Jonesy.
So
give it a minute and y'all can drop your link.
You didn't fix that?
No, it just takes a minute for it to start.
Okay, because I don't see the banner.
Let me put the banner up.
Yeah, this way you can see it on there. All right, first of all, let's get squared away here. What we're doing here with the Keto Show with Tom and Mike. Right off the bat, welcome, Lee. Thanks for coming on again.
Yes.
Okay. Second thing is, okay, this guy. Let me poke him right in the butt. Bang. Okay.
Ow!
This guy broke 1,000. Finally.
It got up to 1,005. It got up to 1,005, and then when I came on, it was let's see what it is now. It was 1,003, and I'm like, who's the two that unsubscribed?
Yeah. Me. I wanted you to hit 1,000, and then I was going to take one off.
Yeah, my subscriber count's been going up and down too.
Yeah, very, very strange. Very strange the way it works. Yeah. So, Lee, how you been, baby?
Yeah, been pretty good. We just wrapped up Melanoma Awareness Month. Today's the last day. So I started off doing some cooks, doing the cancer ribbon thing, and then posting on Instagram and Facebook about different facts about melanoma cancer. Wife and I've been doing a podcast about it, and
I've been trying to catch that.
Yeah, I started posting on YouTube, and it's been, you only see like 2 or 3 people watch it, but it's hard to watch a video podcast, and I know that. Yeah. But I thought I would throw it up as kind of like this is what I'm doing kind of thing.
Yeah.
Hey, Tracy Robin.
What's the response with that, Lee?
On Instagram, I found in Facebook, I found a lot of support and a lot of help. And on YouTube, for the podcast part of it, it's very slow. I mean, they might watch, I think I looked at the last analytics for the last 2 or 3 times I posted, and there's like 5 minutes worth of watch average.
Okay.
So that part's hard.
Yeah. I mean,
but I've had people reach out to me through Instagram that have listened to the podcast, and they come back and said, I'm so glad you're talking about this because I would have never known that. I would have never looked for this. Or
Hey, life.
it's comforting to find somebody going through it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See,
You know,
I tried to talk to Mike about it. Everyone, he hangs up on me.
Yep.
He don't want to talk to me no more.
Well, and you know, you and I have talked before, and there's a small group. You can tell somebody about it,
Yeah.
but they know from watching somebody else. They don't know from being that person, being that patient. There's a whole different world. And, you know, my wife and I doing this podcast, she's seeing a lot of what I saw and actually lived through. And I'm seeing a lot of what she's went through that we didn't share.
Yeah.
And, you know, I hate to throw it like this, but if you think about the death of a child, cancer is the next biggest thing that's going to tear apart a marriage.
Oh yeah.
True.
You know, and you know, that's doing this way. We've been able to share it, and she's been able to call me out on a bunch of BS, which, hey, I was a zombie, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now let me ask you, Mike. I don't mean to take over your spot here for a minute, but I got some questions.
Let me just point out something here. Jonesy says he just had some skin cancer cut out.
That's what I was going to bring up.
And we've got 93 staying in the house, and we got Life from Life's Magical Journey. So welcome everybody.
Yeah, a lot of different names I haven't seen in a while.
Yep.
Yeah,
that's good stuff.
Is it basal cell?
That's what I was going to ask.
Yeah, like there's a guy in our church group just got diagnosed with a couple spots on his eye, like right in front of his nose and on his eye.
Mm-hmm.
And one was basal cell, and the other one they weren't sure. But he had those removed, and he's been having a lot of pain and some issues, but he's still kicking, so that's what matters.
Now my question is, okay, did the transformation into your diet, okay, okay, well, was that hard to do because of the cancer, or was it like a uplifting type of?
Well, when it first started, I was only eating to my blood sugar number because something was off. I had a tumor in my brain that was the size of a ping pong ball, and something was off. So I wasn't really as enthused to cook, and I was just like, oh, let me grab something quick and let's just eat to my blood sugar number.
Drunken chef.
Hey, chef.
Like I had a thing thinking that was part of it was my diabetes is out of whack.
Yeah.
Hey, Ron.
And so I was eating, you know, the fruit cups or granola bars or like a peanut butter jelly sandwich, minimal, but just snacky stuff that I knew my body could sustain itself. And then once we went through the trauma of the surgery and all that stuff, now I got to tell you, I don't get this. You go to the hospital, they give you surgery. And Tom, you talked about this. You go for surgery. They say, oh, you're a type 2 diabetic. And you're like, yeah, okay, you're on a diabetic diet plan. All right, cool. There's no salt. It's all bland. But there is starch and there's like starchy vegetables. And then there's like some sort of bread. Like they give you all the food groups.
Yeah.
And they end it with a pudding cup.
Or an ice cream.
What happens when you're laying in bed and everything's good? You know, the steroids are making your sugar go up, and then they feed you dinner. You got steamed broccoli. This steamed like with distilled water because it was just, there was no flavor in it. And then they give you stuff because your sugar goes up.
Mm-hmm.
So
come to find out, I was insulin resistant. Okay, in the hospital. They didn't know what to do with me because my heart was going out of rhythm, the whole 9 yards. Okay. But they couldn't put 2 and 2 together. So they were bringing in an electrocardiologist to come in because they were going to talk about doing an ablation on my heart. So what an ablation is that they burn part of your ventricle down on the bottom, your bottom chamber. Okay. They blank that, they kill it. Okay. So the heart goes back in a rhythm again. Okay. When they're talking about this, my eyes, I look like Garfield the cat. Okay. My eyes were that big. And I said to the guy, what is, and first of all, he was 4 hours late come to see me. Okay. In the hospital. So they just got done giving me 2 Dixie cups, 5 or 6 graham crackers. Okay. With a shot of insulin. Okay. Yeah. That's like me on a Friday night in a gin mill in a bar, you know.
Yeah.
So I'm like this. So he says to me, he said, how about we don't do that? How about we don't do the ablation? How about we send you off for sleep apnea? Go through that first. Then see how that works out. And how about if we don't give you no more insulin and stay away from the Dixie cups and the graham crackers?
Yep.
I said, that's on you. That part's on you. The rest I can handle. Okay. And sure enough, that's basically what it was. I was insulin resistant, couldn't sleep for crap. Okay. Throwing everything out of balance. Mm-hmm. And then with the cancer on top of it. So anytime I have any kind of trauma or anything like that, my blood sugar goes through the roof.
Yep.
But I just got done 2 weeks of COVID. Okay. And my blood
sugar
that
drove it nuts. I know that drove it nuts.
270, Mike. I was like out of my mind.
Yep.
It was like out of my mind. So, not to take over, Lee. I'm sorry. But
no, it's what happens. I mean, it's nuts. I mean, just a change in the weather will throw my sugar up.
Yeah. Everybody laughs about that, but I'm telling you.
Yeah.
It's the oddest thing. Paige has been a lifelong diabetic, been diabetic since she was 6 years old. And she was years ago, she was sick and we took her to the emergency room, told the lady there that was treating her, the PA that was treating her in the ER, that she has diabetes. And she wanted to give her some cough medicine because it was a cough that she had and it had gotten in her lungs and all like that. And we said, she brought her cough medicine. I said, she can't take this. She needs sugar-free. I told you she's a diabetic. Oh, those few grams of sugar aren't going to hurt her. And I said, lady, this will drive her sugar through the roof.
Mm-hmm.
They don't get it. They just don't get it.
Now, what's interesting is when I had the brain surgery and they put me on steroids, right? So they said, we got to put you on a insulin shot to help regulate your sugar because the steroids will make your sugar spike. All right, cool. Mm-hmm. I have insulin because that's why I was taking a slow release prior, trying to get myself under control again.
Right.
Before all this happened. And they said, all right, cool. If you got some, we're good. They wanted me to take the rapid release. So as I'm looking, I'm like, okay, well, here's the chart. And it says my sugar's here. I should take X amount of insulin. So I'd set my thing to that and I'd take my shot. Well, nothing happened until the next day. And it would be lower, but it wouldn't be that low because it's a slow release. So then I tweak it again. Well, then I got to where I was doubling the amount that I was supposed to. And finally, then I was telling the nurse that, and she said, which one you got? So I told her the name brand. She said, oh, honey, that's a slow release. Go to the pharmacy right now. It'll be there by the time you get there.
Yeah, and you know what? Most people don't realize how much the food affects you and different things. You know, I mean, even with you're saying, cough medicines and stuff like that. My question to you is, do you think that the change that you did with your diet, okay, just with the sugar alone, nothing else. I mean, you don't have to go that crazy with anything, but just cutting back on the sugar alone, do you think that actually helped you progress to where you are now?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
So after the surgery and stuff, before
Charlie.
we started treatments, we weren't hungry. It was pimento cheese, the keto soft tacos, and pepperonis. I mean, we just hot dogs. We didn't care, just as long as we were eating something. But then we started hearing more and more about your cancer cells thrive with sugar.
Yep.
So if I went to eating the way that I had a year prior, even though I was still type 2 diabetic, I wasn't watching it like I should have been.
Right.
That, then I'm just inviting more bad to come in.
Yeah.
And now I've kind of loosened up a little bit to where, like, this weekend we had cake.
Yeah, I mean,
We tamed back everything else, so you didn't have a full meal and then a big piece of cake.
well, I'm going to say before we go any further, Mr. Charlie cooking secrets for men. Okay, so this weekend I went a little crazy. I went off the reservation, let's say. Okay, so I had a hamburger with the bun. I also had French fries, not a lot, a little bit, a little piece of cheesecake. And the other night, I'm getting ready to shut everything down, and I said to Marie, Charlie, that son of a... Charlie did a thing on Grater's ice cream.
Oh.
Okay. Can only get it in Kroger. So I went back and I watched his video. I come out of the bedroom dressed. Marie says, where are you going? Going to Smith's. I come back with 2 pints of Grater's double chocolate ice cream. Okay. As soon as I walked in my house, I could feel the helicopters flying overhead. He's going in. We're going to be sugar shock in a minute. I tell you what, he's 100% right. Ice cream was fantastic. That's the last I'll ever have of it. But
well, the question is, how big a bowl did you get?
No, you know what? I had just a little bit.
So the way that I do it is I get the smallest coffee cup we have in the cupboard.
Mm-hmm.
So then it's like a little 6 or 8 ounce, like teacup kind of thing, like a restaurant coffee cup. That's what I have my, not this thing, but like the little 6 ounce, 8 ounce coffee cup.
Oh,
I would definitely have to change.
That's
I would
funny.
definitely have to change from the keto cook to the knucklehead cook. But Charlie, you're 100% right. It was a fantastic ice cream. It'll be a while before I have it again. But Lee, you're right. You can have a little bit here and there. My thing is, I just did a video today about summertime's coming up now. You're going to be going to barbecues and this and that. You know what I mean? Don't go crazy. Don't choke yourself up. I can't have that or anything like that. That's not the way to go. I mean, I keep telling everybody, it took me 40 years to get to where I'm at. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Being a big fat guy the whole bit, eating everything under the sun, and now trying to get back to health. I'm going on 2 years. It'll be 2 years in June that I started this. 2 years in August that I started YouTube. I mean, I was like this for maybe 6 months. Oh, I can't have that. No, I can't. I'm on keto. I can't. That's more stressful than having something.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So, I mean, as long as you know your limits, then,
But to go back to what you were saying, what I find is that sugar is more addictive than alcohol.
And cigarettes.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that because I was a heavy drinker for 20 some plus years. Huge heavy drinker. Anyway.
I owned the bar.
That's I had a refrigerator that I had to get rid of because the damn thing never stayed full. I'd put an 18-pack in there, it'd be empty the next day. I couldn't figure it out. But so I quit the drinking, and then I found a different way to self-sabotage, and that's with food. So I'm doing that with sugars.
Mhm.
Say,
Trade
oh,
one for the other.
right. So as you're eating healthier, right, you still have, I mean, with this cancer we talked about, with the type that I have, you go outside, the sun's trying to kill you. You go to the bathroom, your body's trying to kill you. You go,
Yeah.
no matter where you go, it's not, your body's trying to say, hey, you're done. So
Yeah.
there's constant stress that is on you because you can't just walk outside and go to the beach or down to the lake. You got to think
True.
hours before to get the
Mhm.
right sunscreen. Is there shade? Is there, sun shirts, that kind of stuff. You got to think that far ahead. Bucket hats, ball cap doesn't cut it. You got to cover your ears and your neck.
Yeah.
So there's a lot more thought that goes into all that. So that you got this added stress. What happens when you're stressed? You do
Cortisol.
two things, and usually they're both in together.
Yep.
When you're highly stressed, you eat, and then you pray.
Yes. Yes.
Usually, after you stress, overeat, you pray harder.
Yeah.
Or you drink, and then when you get sick, you pray, and oh God, please don't let me get sick.
Yes, I'm never going to do this again until next Saturday.
Yeah.
And
oh God, you get me through this one. I'll get myself through the next one.
Yeah,
and that's like I talk to a lot of people who say, well, that keto is not sustainable and this and that. Well, first of all, it's a lifestyle. Okay, so what I did was I changed completely how I do things. Okay, no sugar. I don't have any sugar now. Introduce a little bit of carb because basically everything that you touch does have some carbohydrates in it. Okay,
Yes.
It's processed and packaged.
So you got to keep it down.
Even vegetables. I mean,
You get a
broccolis got
carrot.
carbs.
Yeah, so you keep it kind of low. But
An
the
egg
whole
has
idea
more.
is, yeah. So now you turn around and you try to keep it as minimal as possible. So the whole idea, I look at it this way, is bladder cancer, type 2 diabetic, and if I didn't stop them, okay, I would have had an ablation done on my heart, which I didn't need. Okay, or want to go through. So you got to take a little bit of control of it. No, the guy next door to you, my neighbor, they don't give a rat's ass they don't care what I do, what I eat, or anything else like that. Okay, so if I don't take care of myself, even my doctor, I said to the lady, I need to speak to the doctor about this. I think I have COVID. I don't know what the hell's going on. What's your date of birth? I said, just got done telling you everything.
Oh, it's terrible.
What's your date of birth? I give it a date of birth. Can you hold on a minute? Yeah, hold on. 15 minutes later, who is this? Oh, for Christ's sake! Boop, hung the phone up. I said, I don't need this crap. Talk about stress. So you deal with it. My point is, you deal with everything that suits you.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
And
So
you look at like carrots. If you want to sit down and smash a bag of carrots, who cares?
Yeah.
Yes, there's carbs in carrots, but who cares? It's not like you're smashing a bag of Oreos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some of the sugar could be the same way.
It's the trade-off.
He had to mention that. See, he had to mention freaking Oreos.
Well, only because I quit eating Oreos back in 2012, and my dogs have never had an Oreo. Now they like zebra cakes, but they ain't had an Oreo.
God help me if they come out with zebra cakes and keto, in a keto version.
And I don't know why they don't.
I don't either.
Well, probably because nobody paid for them.
But the whole idea is what I'm getting at is if you are just looking to lose weight, this is the way to go. Okay. If you are looking to reverse type 2 diabetes, which you can, I'm at the point where I think I do have too much damage as far as my liver is concerned to do it. So I'm still going to have that. Like there again, not to beat a dead horse, but I went from 13 to 3 medications. Okay. And it's a lifestyle. And it's if I'm going to trip, fall, it's just like somebody gets on the freeway. Speed limit's 65. You're doing 85. You're going to get a ticket. So
a lot of
Ron's cat's name's Oreo. Ron's cat is named Oreo. That's funny, Ron.
what I'm finding that they're doing with my medicines is they're cutting them back to where I'm like at 5 milligrams. So it's just basically a maintenance thing.
That's what Mike's at.
Except for my sugar ones.
Yeah, Mike's in maintenance mode. So is Alan. You know.
Well, yeah, I don't want to be. I want to be in lose more weight mode, but I'm at least maintaining. So I'm happy. That's a win.
Hey, get COVID for 2 weeks. I lost 8 pounds.
We got talking about the BMI chart because that's the ideal, right?
That is a whole bunch of BS. That whole chart.
Exactly. So my dad's in, and he was telling me about his procedure and all this stuff that he just had, and his BMI. He goes, if I lose 5 more pounds, I'll be at 170 pounds, and I will finally be off the obese list. And
they'll find something else for you.
And I said, oh, man, you might as well just get on that scale naked because there ain't much of you left. He's lost so much weight over the years. And my wife looked it up, and I'd have to lose another 50 pounds.
Yeah.
Wow.
I said, I look like Jack Skellington walking around here.
My one doctor,
an incredible beard.
My one doctor in Florida told me, he said, the doctor in Florida says to me, "You're obese." I said, "You're friggin' ugly." But I could diet. Okay, you're still going to be ugly, you.
Well, that's where I argued with him that snowman is a shape. It's called a figure 8.
Yeah. That's
they
right.
Didn't like me. You buy a box of cookie cutters, and there's a figure 8 in there. There's a snowman.
I can't figure out for the life of me how I know how they do it, but I mean, why they push it to the point where with the BMI, okay, your blood pressure, okay. I'm 6 foot, Marie's 4'11". All right. How is 117 over 80 or 70 do for me and to be the same for her?
Mm-hmm.
See, it ain't right.
How is between 60 and 90 okay for your blood sugar? If I'm pumping a lot more blood around my body than she is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't get that. I don't get the, what the right chart should be.
Years ago, I went to the doctor. The doctor told me, said, you need to lose some weight. I said, you do too, doc. And he said, what do you mean? I said, you know what, doc, let's do this together. And he says, what? And I said, you and me, we're gonna be dieting pals. We're gonna be buddies. We're gonna call each other and give each other support. We'll do that. And he goes, now wait a minute. You're the patient. I'm the doctor. And I said, yes, but doc, you know you need to lose some too. He got off my case about losing weight then.
Yeah, of course.
So
he was bigger than I was.
Back in early 2000s, it was like 2003, 2 or 3. That's when I found out I was diabetic. And they sent us down to their dietitian, and they had no meal plans whatsoever. They couldn't tell you what to try to eat or anything. It was just every 2 hours, you start with a 60 carb meal. 2 hours later, have a 30 carb snack. 2 hours later, a 60 carb meal. No idea what worked and what didn't. So if you had veg heavy snack, and then you're doing a lot of physical work, which I was doing at the time, your blood sugar drops.
Yeah.
So then you're about to pass out. So I had to carry a pocket full of sweet tarts in a little Altoids tin, just in case my blood sugar dropped.
So when you turn around and you talk to your doctor, well, in the morning, I had breakfast and then I feel like crap, okay, because you spike and you drop. So all day long, what the standard American diet, what they want you to do, which is sad, they want you to up and down, up and down, up and down. That's not good for your heart.
Mm-mm.
Okay, so that was that. Now I read a thing this morning that people who have heart attacks or have had a major heart attack usually wind up with cognitive problems.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. So
want to say hi to S.J. Cooks and to Barbecue Mike G. Thank y'all for coming in. Sorry, Tom.
Yeah. No problem. So the whole
Squirrel's
idea
Magnet fishing. Yeah.
You're gonna go up and down, but the whole idea is not to go this way, up and down, up and down. So if you're gonna spike a little bit, you're gonna drop down because everybody does.
Yep.
So trying to explain that to somebody about, hey, yeah, well, what do you do? I blurt it right out now. I don't give a rat's ass. I do keto. I have keto lifestyle. I don't give a damn. I'm low carb. So one month I did just carnivore, just meat, stuff like that. But it's all based on low carb, no sugar.
Yep.
That's the way it goes. So.
And I just tell them, they're like, so what are you eating now? And I'm not strict keto, but I use the keto recipes to get the low carb or the starch replacements, because I found with through treatments, the starches were inflammatory.
Yep.
So like if I had any kind of pasta or white bread or any kind of bread really, then I would feel it in my knees really bad.
Yeah.
So I've tried to avoid the white starches as much as possible. And that's where I use the keto and the low carb. But I got to tell you, a lot of the keto snacks are, I mean,
garbage.
you can just grab a whole handful of powdered almonds and just throw it in your mouth.
Yeah, they're garbage.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's just what it is. It's another way for the food manufacturers to say they see not a trend, but they see how people are switching, trying keto, and they market it to go with it. Yeah. So my keto thing is, when I pick up a broccoli, I look for the ingredients. I don't see any that goes in the cart.
Sure.
Yeah. When I pick up some meat, steaks, and stuff like that, there's no ingredients. I put that in the cart. That's how I eat, and so far it's been.
The wife and I were talking. So Bear Cub graduated high school.
Yeah, I seen. Yeah.
And
Jason,
I made her graduation cake. I've got a graduation cake tin, cap 10, and so I made her cake and we decorated, and it was fully loaded. I mean, it was just Duncan Hines, $1.39 a box. She got the icing, a couple dollars a thing, whatever. I just ate a smaller piece.
And do you remember back in the day? Lee, old Mike knows. Mike, you're not laughing.
I'm waiting to hear what I know. I'm waiting to hear, and then I'll laugh.
It's either when eggs were going to kill you, milk was going to kill you, Slim Fast was the answer, and Dexatrim was the answer.
Do you remember Tarryton cigarettes? Yeah. And they used to do the guy with the black eye. You'd rather fight than switch.
Yeah.
That's basically what we go through.
Yep. The majority of those anti-smoking things were put on by the cigarette companies.
Of course. Yeah. So there you go. Even now, just when you felt like you got lied to about everything, and not to bore anybody about it, but this is all common sense. All right. When they turn around and you see them pushing, okay, the sugar, the stuff. The other night, when I went over to get that ice cream, all right. I mean, they have 2 aisles of ice cream.
Yeah.
2 aisles full of nothing but ice cream. Mm-hmm. Then you go down and you walk around, you go buy the snacks. Okay. There's 3 aisles of snacks. The cakes and this and that and the cookies, candy, the whole 9 yards. Okay. Oh, yeah. But then you go over to the meat section and they got a small meat section, and not that big of a produce aisle. So what does that tell you right at the bat? So that's why lately. Yeah. Go ahead, Mike. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. Lately, what?
No, lately that's why I've been making my own sauces, my own barbecue sauces and stuff like that to suit me.
Well, I put out the recipe. It's out there now, showing you how to make a keto dessert with the Ninja Creamy. Now, I say keto dessert. It's everything about that is clean. I use one of the water enhancers. It does have sucralose in it, but as far as people say, "Oh no, sucralose is bad because it'll spike your blood sugar." No, if you use the liquid, it does not. If you use the powder, yes, it will. But so that's out there, and I have been working on, and I've gotten they're down to good. I've got them where they're good. I'm going to be showing them how to make, like, I've got a protein powder donut. It's made out of protein powder. No, there ain't no sugar in it. There ain't a bit of, or not even a sugar replacement. No, the protein powder that's where you're getting your flavor from.
My wife's got a creamy, and she makes ice cream with peanut butter protein powder.
Mm-hmm. And I'm going to put those out, and I've got a I'm going to do some mug cakes, showing mug cakes using the protein powder.
Mhm.
I've got ice creams coming out using the protein powder. They'll be coming up either this week or next week. I forget. I think it's next week. So this Ninja Creamy is great.
No.
The stuff they're putting out, the stuff I can put in there is so much better than what you buy. Even if it says keto on the label on the ice cream at the store, this is so much better for you than what they have there.
That's my point. Okay, we all cook. All right.
Yeah.
Charlie just did one put a video out today about in Milwaukee that there's a school that is has a culinary class. Okay, in there, I think we need more of that. Okay, to show people, here's what you can have, and like Lee said, moderation. You can have just about anything you want.
That's right.
Okay.
But see, with me, when I was doing carbs, moderation on the potatoes was about that much in the bottom of a number 10 wash tub. It was about that.
That's Mike. That's a fact. I mean, that is a fact because that's the problem. It's people say, portion control. No. Okay. So when you sit down and have a bag of potato chips, 10 minutes later, still a little hungry, you get up and eat a pint of ice cream.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then say, I found some pretzels. I mean, and just keep going like that. That's the problem.
Yeah.
Yep. My problem is like at night, at 10 o'clock at night, if I'm still downstairs watching TV or videos or whatever, the cupboards are calling.
That's the 0 hour.
And
I call that the 0 hour.
And then you're like, well, I'll get a little bag of those wisps. I eat a whole bag of those. And then
those things are so good. Those things are so good.
And I'm like, ooh, that was good. Let me see what else there's. And I'm not hungry.
It's just
it's that time that I used to 7-8 years ago when I was drinking heavy, I would wait until the kids went to bed. So that was my time that I would start my self-destruction. So if I'm still awake and downstairs at that time of night, I'm falling back into that routine, but with a different vice.
Yeah.
And it's all healthy stuff because I don't buy a lot of junk. I don't want all that junk in the house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, I do buy snacks like at the auction, and I take them straight to the wife's office. She's got a pack of Sour Patch Kids, whatever. Those are yours. They're not down here in my way.
You see, I'm the type of guy that, damn it, if I want something, I'm going to go get it.
Yeah.
Or I'm going to make it, whatever. Ain't nobody going to stop me. But I know the after effects.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
That I fought this hard to get. Hey, when I was diagnosed with cancer, they put me on a juice regimen.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Then halfway through my treatments, they had to stop the treatments because I wound up with type 2 diabetes from the treatment and the juice that I was drinking.
Yeah.
What do? You know what I mean? So you got to take control of yourself. Everybody knows what their limits are, what they can and can't do. For me to turn around and say to somebody, you need to do just keto and this is the way it's got to be, and you can't go off track, you can't do nothing like that, that's bullcrap. Because you know what? I don't know exactly what you're going through, and I don't know what he's going through. Okay? All I know is what I'm going through.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the way I got to. That's the way I got to handle it.
And there's times where you get to where you're like, I really want coleslaw. I want the creamy coleslaw. Okay, but I don't want to go through the hassle of making it.
Mm-hmm.
So you go buy the little bitty tub out of the grocery store, up by the rotisserie chickens, and you get a couple little, you got that little coffee cup. You put a couple big spoonfuls in there, and that's it. I have that with a hamburger, just a burger, and I'm good.
Yeah, but see, here's my way around that is, I don't know what they put in. I know they sprinkle stuff in there to preserve it, to keep it on the shelf.
Uncle.
You know what I mean? That's the thing you got to be careful of because that starts affecting your gut.
Yep.
Everything starts in your gut microbiome, and that's what causes hell with people. As far as
Yep.
now, you can have all this
Yeah.
shelf stable stuff you want, okay, and if it has an expiration date on it for another 30 years, I don't touch it.
Right.
Because
Yeah.
that stuff, I don't know how it's gonna treat me.
Yeah. But people say, well, just cut back. Well, that's easier said than done in a lot of cases. So it's better for me to eliminate
Mm-hmm.
than cut
I'd rather
back.
eliminate it. Yeah, I'd rather eliminate
Yeah.
it than try to cut back.
Yeah. And occasionally on a blue moon, maybe indulge.
Yep.
That kind of thing. Or it's like some people, like
Hey,
in
Nancy.
recipes, they call. Some people would call. Hey, Nancy. Some folks would call, like, if you're making some kind of dessert, they would say, oh, this dessert is 3 ingredients, and then you count them up, and it's 4 ingredients by just looking at the items, or 5 ingredients, and maybe it's a cake or something like that, and I'm like, okay, I get it. The chocolate chips and the sprinkles, those aren't ingredients; those are embellishments.
Well,
and what people put on there to do it.
And what people fail to realize is there is a limit of how much is supposed to be. In other words, if you have a quarter of a teaspoon, okay, is considered to be part of the scale to be labeled as part of being sugar. If it drops below that scale, they don't count it.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. That's
okay.
Right.
So you got sugar in there when it says no sugar added, but there's still sugar in there, but they don't touch. Well, it's below. It's below the.
So with that, you think about, like, you make a coleslaw mix, just the dressing.
Mm-hmm.
You're making it in a mixing bowl, right? Like a KitchenAid mixing bowl.
Yeah.
The way these manufacturers are doing it, they're making it in 10,000-pound batches.
Exactly.
So if you think about a small trailer, mobile home, as your mixer bowl, so when they throw in 10 pounds of sugar and it's dispersed within 10,000 pounds of finished product,
right?
How much are you really getting? Well, the math says this. But, I mean, so knowing how all the commercial stuff's made changes kind of your perspective on just the ingredients.
Mike's 100% right. Mike G.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is, and that's why I switched up a little bit on my channel as far as I never really preached about it. I always said this is how I cook, and this is what I'm doing for me. Okay. Yep. What I did was I switched up. Now I very rarely mention it. Okay. I just cook. This is what I made. This is how I made it. These are the ingredients I'm using, and walk away from it that way. Because I got a lot of kickback. I mean, I got a lot of stuff kickback with. You got to cheat. There's no way you did all that stuff. No.
Well, so the number one reason why diets fail. Do you know that? Any diet.
Because they overthink it, probably.
Because you said you can't have that.
Because you can't have it.
You can't have it.
Oh, yeah.
What are you going to do?
Yeah. You're going to have it.
Just put a limit on yourself.
Yeah.
And you're saying, I can't do that. Now, I grew up in a cornfield, and I was told you can't do a lot of things.
You're children of the corn?
Hold my beer. I'm going to show you how to do it.
Yeah. Yeah. Hide and watch. Hide and watch.
I'm going to do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So if you tell me that I can't have an Oreo, guess what I'm going to do?
So
I'm going to eat an Oreo just to prove you wrong.
Exactly. So in the culinary world, okay, you were at task to turn around and develop or come up with a new recipe that's going to take off, or a special of the night that's going to take off away from the old every day-to-day menu. Okay.
Yep.
So that's what you're going to do. So what gets people's attention is sugars, okay, the taste, the aroma, the taste, the whole bit. Okay. So a lot of these different manufacturers that we were getting desserts from. There was one out of Philadelphia called Sweet Street. Okay. These guys come up with more stuff you can shake a stick with. Okay. Top dollar stuff, the whole 9 yards. That was like the biggest seller. So if I come up with I did a strawberry sauce for chicken. Okay. Big seller. I always asked for it. But you know what happened? Now I'm thinking back. I said, man, I wonder how many people I hurt, that had diabetes that really didn't know.
And a lot of times when they come in there, they're not even thinking about that.
No.
They don't care. They're in there because they want the molten lava cake covered in ice cream.
Yeah.
So do I, damn it.
But if you say you can't, you're going to end up in the Little Debbie aisle. And then the second aisle of the ice cream.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you're going to overindulge. And then you beat up yourself because you just overindulged because you said you can't. It's a nasty cycle.
Yeah. My wife is very rigid when it comes to can't have it. Nope, I don't want it. Well, I'm good. Okay. So we were out like over the weekend. Like I said, I played Saturday night and Sunday we went back out again. And with just one restaurant, and I had a cheeseburger, French fries, and they gave us free dessert. Get the frig out of here. I said, I hit the jackpot in the restaurant. Okay. Wrong one. Marie said, oh, no, I can't. Marie, you're going to wish later on that you have it. I said, the funny part of it is going to watch me try to get through the night. Okay. With all the, with the, geez, the headache and something. Sure enough, it did. So I bounced back up out of it better than I ever did before. That's the case.
So we went to a restaurant and we were celebrating my wife's graduation 2 weeks ago. We had her party was in, and we're at this restaurant and I got the appetizers. Of course, everything's fried. Comes around and it's fried banana peppers.
Oh,
amazing!
I bet.
But because I had that as an appetizer, or some of that as an appetizer, my dinner was a side salad instead of fries, and I got a steak quesadilla on a cauliflower shell instead of whatever regular shell. It makes me feel better because I made the smarter choice, but it's all moderation and substituting.
And that's what we do all the time. So right now where I'm at the point, we are at the point right now was, like I said, we went crazy Sunday. All right. But that's past now.
Yep.
So now I welcome a salad or that kind of stuff. And I look forward to it now. We just found another restaurant has prime rib now. They're doing prime rib specials. Okay. That's enough for me. I'm good. That salad, I'm good. Go or steamed broccoli.
Yeah, prime rib and a salad. That's a great meal to me.
Yeah. I mean,
we went through a lot of the kind of carby stuff that we had for the graduation parties. And I mean, we had a huge thing of macaroni salad, homemade.
That's right, Michelle.
That my sister-in-law made, and coleslaw and all this French fries and all. And I was like, I looked at my dad today and he said, so what are we having today? And I said, oh man, I got a detox.
Yeah.
You're getting a couple sausages. And so that was our lunch. As I knew some sausage links, and I had cube cheese. Yeah. I got a detox. I can't do no more.
I got a button of smoker right now. Salt, pepper, and that's it on it. Nothing else. Yep. Nothing else. I had 3 plum tomatoes left. I made a sauce with that. Some garlic, Mexican oregano. I put some setup in there.
Ooh.
And what I did was, because right away people here have barbecue sauce and they think sweet right away. So what I do is I took a half a teaspoon of cinnamon. And I poured the cinnamon into it and stirred it around. Gives you that little sweet flavor. The cinnamon doesn't overtake it, but it almost gives you like that. It's a different type of sauce. So that's what we'll have.
Yeah.
You can really adapt to it. And Michelle hit the nail on the head before. It's because we're fat adapted right now.
Yeah.
Basically what it is.
But if we ate like that regular, we would just go back to being unreformed fat men.
Yeah.
Well, if you look back at when I grew up, so my parents were of the microwave age, the TV dinners.
Mm-hmm.
When I grew up, our night out was McDonald's because they had a playground. So it was nothing for us to go to the playground for 2 hours while Mom sat there, sipped on her Diet Coke, and watched us play and read a book.
Yeah.
So we grew up with fast food as a normal, everyday thing. And then the ice cream truck started coming around. The old Schwann's man. He'd come around, and then they started having other things than ice cream. You throw it in the microwave. It's all processed, pre-packaged. So when you're looking at that, and then now you got to come and try to fix your own. And you got to try to think about what's going to go in there, what's a substitute. It's easier to just grab something, throw it in.
Yeah.
You think pot pie was healthy for you until you see what goes into the pie crust.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
I mean, just with the preservatives alone.
Yeah.
Okay. The stuff that you cannot pronounce. Okay. I get into it one night with somebody about xanthan gum. Okay.
Yes.
I said xanthan gum is a derivative of sugar. It's a carbohydrate from sugar.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That is shelf stable, makes things shelf stable, but it's still a sugar.
It mainly is a thickening agent.
Yeah, but it's still sugar though.
Yep.
Okay. So, and we went back and forth about that. It's in everything. That's the problem.
Mm-hmm.
It's in ketchup. It's just about barbecue sauces, all that stuff. That's where it's in. It's in jellies. It's in everything.
Yep.
It is.
It's the same.
That came out in 1962. Okay, and it's been there ever since. Nobody has done a study on it, what the effects are.
Because when you use it in a normal, like if you're making it and you put it in a sauce, you're putting in pinches, like literal pinches.
Yeah,
because
a little bit goes a real long way with that stuff.
Yeah. So in those 10,000-pound batches of stuff, they throw in a pound of xanthan gum to thicken it up. Kind of like what we used to do with cornstarch. You make the sauce, throw cornstarch in there, now it's thick.
Flour, the same thing. But my point is, they're making it to be that it's not what it is.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
It's carbohydrate and sugar derivative. That's basically what it is.
It's pushing the keto agenda, but it's not really kind of
almond flour. Okay. Almond flour, you go to the cardiologist, and the cardiologist will tell you have a handful of almonds. Okay, a day. You can have that a day, handful of almonds. So a handful of almonds counts out to be about 20.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that you can have in there. So a lot of these recipes are calling for a half a cup or a cup of almond flour. A half a cup of almond flour is a little over 90, close to 110 almonds that are broken up. So now you just quadrupled, okay, your handful a day from a cardiologist. Okay, what they're telling you. So now you're adding this in there, and after a while, almonds become toxic. It becomes toxic to your system. All right, people don't realize that. Eat a bunch of almonds. Eat a bag of almonds for the day, and see what happens to you at night. How you feel at night.
Hey, Rick Wynn.
So
Big Valley.
You got to be really careful about all these different stuff. That's fine. That stuff's okay. Xanthan gum's okay. That stuff, it's not, because it's wrecking your gut. Mm-hmm. And all of our fighting agents that help keeps our body going is from your gut.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean that was the big fight that I had with people, and I said, you know what, shut up, do you, and just let it go from there. So
my good buddy, I get on him about the eating habits and stuff because of his health, but I'm not any better. You know, I'll have a zebra cake once a month or something, but I'm still having one. Where he's having, Reese cups.
But you're aware of it, Lee, and that was my whole point about
That's
everything.
the big thing, is just being aware of what you're doing and what the outcome could be.
That's how me and
if I have a whole zebra cake, because they're the big ones. You saw we talked about before. I get the big ones, and I cut it in half and give it to the dogs. I give half to the dog. Well, I split it between the two of them. Then I get the other one. And if I were to eat the whole one, the next day I'd be a mess. And I know that because I've done it.
Yeah, of course. I mean, that's how me and Mike. I mean, that's how we started out. Became friends over it. Okay, over what he was doing, what I was doing, a whole bit, and we conferred back and forth. And he doesn't have type 2 diabetes.
Mm-hmm.
Paige has type 1, so it's a total different ball game.
Right.
Okay, and type 1 and type 2, they are not the same. I mean, they are
not even close.
Opposite. So
not even close to the same.
He would say, "Well, I make things with this and that stuff like that." Actually, that's great. It affects you way different than it does me.
What's interesting is type 2. If your medicines are high enough, even though you eat really crappy, you can still pull off a good A1C.
Yes.
Yeah, you can, but in the same token, the damage that you're doing from the medications, okay, is all of a sudden now you got heart trouble. Now you got liver problems.
How is it that you gained 15 pounds in 6 months and your A1C is still a 7.2?
I know people who are 400 and 500 pounds.
Yep.
Okay, don't have diabetes. That don't have it.
Yep.
So I mean, and type 2 is known to be an autoimmune. So I mean
Yeah, I know a lady who's type 1 diabetic, and she has an insulin pump, and she'll eat desserts all the time. And I said, "Why are you eating it? It's got sugar." "I'll just pump a little more insulin."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that ain't how that's supposed to work.
Like, I know a lady that has rheumatoid arthritis, and she couldn't pick up a paintbrush because it hurt her hand to paint.
Yeah.
But the next week she was out riding jet skis.
Well, something fell.
Yeah. No, that was me. I hit the computer. I'm trying to get Paige's walking outside. Paige was walking outside, and I was trying to get her attention to turn around and look, because there was a deer about 10 feet away from her.
The keto deer.
Yeah.
So I had a friend who has he's no longer with us, had type 1. Okay. And his claim would be, I'm going to eat birthday cake tonight and I'll just juice up the insulin.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So after he lost his one toe, okay, and then on that wave, still shooting up the insulin, eating what he wanted. Then when he lost his foot, okay, from the ankle, lost his foot, kept going. Next thing you know, went into cardiac arrest and was in cardiac arrest in the hospital for 2.5 months in a coma.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And it finally expired. So I said, at what cost? They didn't have to give him any more insulin, because you know what? He still wasn't adding that stuff into his system. So, like I said, I'm insulin resistant. They give me insulin. It's like a death sentence. So there again, you gotta know what you're talking about. You gotta know what you're doing. You gotta know you.
Yeah, that's the big thing. Is you got to know your body,
right? What
it's doing. Like, my wife's got a problem with we think she's having an autoimmune gut protocol thing.
Mm-hmm.
But if I fix her something and then she tells me, "Man, my stomach was a wreck," mental note, don't do that again.
That's right.
Won't fix that again. And we're trying to basically start at square one and work our way back into what it is that has not suddenly, but is seriously upsetting her gut now.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. And you know what? The older you get, it gets worse.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So,
and she's under a lot of stress because I'm still breathing.
Yeah.
I mean, in the grand scheme of things, that's she's got more stress on her plate than what I do, because she has to deal with me, all the insurance stuff, all her stuff, her daily life. Plus, there's this nagging what if.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And boy, I tell you,
stress will tear you up.
Lee, you just hit the nail on the head. That what if, boy, that's the biggest stress point of all. Marie,
Well, y'all
there's
have all
nothing wrong-
daughters too, right? Y'all have all
Yes.
daughters. So
Three.
she's
Yeah.
dealing with that also, because there's going to be things that daughters are not going to come and talk to daddy about.
You know,
Yep.
anybody that tells you that daughters are easier than boys,
They are not.
turn around and walk away,
Yeah, they're
because you
lying.
don't need to be talking to that person.
Yeah, I'm
Yes.
going through that right now. I'm going through a little bit of it right now, and I get it. My daughter's trying to not tell me anything what's going on, the whole 9 yards, and I got a pretty good idea and stuff like that. But that's stress alone, and I'm wondering why I don't sleep at night. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. And with us, we've got to watch our stress level, because your sugar goes up.
Yep.
Cortisol
Stress-
goes up, insulin
stress-
goes up.
Yeah. And then your depression
Yep.
goes up. Everybody's got depression.
Oh,
Nobody
yeah.
wants to talk about it, but everybody deals with it. And those who deal with it differently, like sometimes it's more mild than it is for others. For me, it's huge.
Yeah, I
For
tell
me-
Marie,
And
I don't let that shit bother me. She said, "Yeah, bullshit." She tells me.
well, so my one daughter was going through some stuff, and I overstepped my boundary, the boundary I set, and I started trying to get involved. And then at one point I said, wait a minute, your stress at your house 4 hours away is affecting me, and I got no part in it.
Yeah.
Nothing I can do is going to help you out. So why am I stressing? Because it's wrecking me. I'm not sleeping. I'm junk food eating. Like, I'm trying to sabotage myself, and I'm like, whoa. Now your problems are affecting me, which is
Affecting me.
going to affect everybody.
You touched on that the other night on your podcast.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I was glad that you did, because this is stressful. I mean, this is not an easy thing to do. See, everybody think I got to go back. Me and Mike were both fat guys, okay, and that's how it started this, okay. But I had complications because of being a fat guy.
Yep.
All right, and that's how this whole bullcrap started. All right. So me and him were back. When I found out he lost 110 pounds or something like that, and then Ron, what did he lose? 120 something?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Ron,
Ron left me in the
So-
dirt with what he lost.
Yeah. So I mean, I just turned 60. 60 pounds I lost. Okay, and to me that's fantastic, because the first time I did it, I lost 44 and gained 62 back.
Yep. That
So-
happened to
So
my
I get-
buddy.
Yeah, so I got even with that rat bastard. I got even with him. I got that last weight loss. I
So
got.
I got a funny story for you. So Bear Cub was having her prom, right? Her senior prom. And she says, Dad, what did you go, what'd you look like at prom? All right, let's go up and take a look, pull out the shoebox. I'm pulling out the graduation pictures and stuff like that. And I'm looking at these, and I hadn't looked at these since 96. And I'm like, damn, I was one fat dude. And at the time, I was 3 1/4.
Wow.
And the heaviest I got around our wedding in 02 was about 345, 350.
Wow.
Yeah.
See, I didn't get up to. I said 300, but then thinking back and looking back at different charts and stuff, different papers I had, that's probably 320.
So like now, I'm probably at what I was probably about 8th, 9th grade. An 8th grader, a freshman in high school. That's where I weigh now. I'm at 2 1/4.
Ron
See, in high
has
school-
lost 147 pounds since January of 2020.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Rocket, Ron. There you go.
Yeah.
See, back in high school, I was skinny as a rail. Okay, and until I got into the restaurant business. That's when I took off. And at one point, I was having a hard time getting between the steam table and the stoves. There was no walking sideways. You couldn't walk sideways anymore, through there. So I would have to sit in there and sweat. I mean, by the time I got done cooking that night, I was wringing wet from it. But it was not knowing any better. Okay. Tasted everything. You know what I mean? So, who do you blame? Blame a doctor? You blame somebody else? Blame me. I'm the guy who got that way. And on top of it, see, the other complication, it just wasn't food. I smoked like a chimney. I was doing 5 packs a day when I quit. Okay. I drank scotch like Scotland was going to shut down for a while. You know what I mean? I just, there was no, oh, wait a minute. I may have another scotch. I would get done work. Okay. 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, get in a car, drive into the city, into New York, and sit there and chow, drink some more, everything till 5, 6 o'clock in the morning. Drive back home, sleep, get up, take a shower, go back to work. That was my life.
Yeah. Back when I was drinking heavy, it was nothing for a 12-pack after a 12, 13-hour shift. 18-pack, whatever I could fit into a Netflix movie. Usually 18-pack to a case. By the time you broke the seal, it was time for bed.
Mike, you didn't drink much, did you?
In college, I was known to suck the bottom out of a beer can.
Wow.
So, but other than that, I not really. And some of my biggest decisions that affected me in life, and now I pay for, like joint pain and things like that, are all related to decisions made while inebriated, like jumping out of an airplane. There were several of us decided we were going to take up learning how to skydive, and we were drinking when we decided it, and then when we sobered up, none of us would tell the other ones, this is a bad idea, So
yeah, I mean,
as soon as somebody says, "Hey, you can't do that," oh yeah,
especially with a half a snootful to begin with.
Yeah, you finish the beer you're drinking, you crack another one, and you tell them to hold it, and you go do it.
Me and my brother.
We
were down on Jekyll Island and on the coast of Georgia. And on the northern end of the island, you could look across and see across the channel there. You could see St. Simon's Island, and I don't know how far away it is by just as a crow flies. But it's open water. It's a channel between the two islands that goes into Brunswick.
You swam it?
I swam it. We were scuba diving and in the ocean and just doing things. We got out and we started drinking beer, and I don't know, about 8 or 9 beers in, one of us looked up and said, "Damn, that looks awful close." And next thing you knew, we were saying to one of them, "Here, drive over there and pick us up," which by car, it takes you about 30 to 45 minutes. So we went. So we crazy. Wild turkey 1-on-1. There you go.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I've had the turkey wine a few times. But so we loaded up all the gear into the car and left the fins and kept the fins on, and we swam over to St. Simon's Island. And about the time that guy pulled up, we're coming out of the water right there at the pier. Now, I'm here to tell you, there is one hell of a current between those two islands. And it was a battle the whole way. And about halfway there, I'm going, this was not smart. This was not smart.
Yeah.
And as soon as you got out of the water, you walked to the cooler and got another beer.
I did. I did.
And you drank half of it in one gulp, and then you were like, "Whew, what was I thinking?"
Hey, and we were open 7 days. We were open 7 days a week. So this you talk about me on a keto lifestyle right now. That back then was a lifestyle. That was it. You know what I mean? And my way of getting away from scotch sometimes, there was this Behringer's liquor made apple schnapps type of thing, like it was. Tasted just like eating an apple. Okay. So when I had too much scotch, I would switch to Behringer's and shoot. shoot down shots of that and back and forth. I mean, I stopped and think about it, but holy Christ, I needed rehab. But trying to turn that stuff around now and think back about it. Soon as my doctor told me with the cancer, hey Tom, I think it's time for you when you leave here to go home and get your affairs in order.
That's an eye opener there.
That was the big light switch. Bloop.
Yep.
Okay, and that was I had my first surgery. My grandson, it will be 15 in December. 17th, I had my first surgery December 16th. So he was, no, I'm sorry, 17th, and he was born on the 16th. So he was my cancer baby. He was the guy that made me turn everything off, turn everything around. I quit drinking for 10 years.
Yep.
When
I first quit, it was just shy of 6 years. And it was pure hell because I did a cold turkey on my own. I had no support. It was just, I had two girls, the two kids.
Yeah.
But it was hell.
That's exactly what I did. I'm going to being that it was 10 years that I quit. Okay. So now out here, we even went down to Florida, when we moved down to Florida, I went out and I used to drink Johnny Walker Black on the rocks. Okay. I went to a bar and it's me, Johnny Walker Black on the rocks and water on the side. Okay. The girl comes up and I put a 20 up. She said, that'll be $22.50. $22.50. What the hell are you drunk? I didn't know the prices went up that crazy.
Oh yeah.
So that was another thing that curved back, back all the way from there.
Man.
But it's all lifestyle, Mike, and you know it. I mean.
Oh yeah, it is. Which man.
You talk about giving an alcoholic a non-alcoholic beer.
Yeah.
That was the missing piece to finding me. Because alcoholic beer had played so much of a part in my life that quitting, I wasn't me. I didn't feel like me at all. And I tried to have like one beer or something. And then next time I tried to have 2 beers and try to control it. My depression did not like that. So I fell off the wagon a couple times. I went to non-alcoholic beers. Not a problem. Demons anymore.
Yeah.
I can have one or two. I can have, like, we went to dinner the other night and I had 3 Heineken Zeros.
Okay.
With dinner. And that's the most I'd had in, I don't know, months. But I didn't have that urge to keep going.
I'm 15 years without smoking, and I went like this the other day when I got in the car.
Yeah.
Looking for my cigarettes. 15
There's
years.
times you'll throw the ink pen in your mouth, and then you're like, what am I doing?
Yeah. And I can draw a nice thing on the side of the wall. Lee, I got to tell you this, okay? I guess we were on almost like a year now, a little over a year that we know each other with Mike. I guess we all came together at the same time. Yeah, that's how I met. Through you, I met the dude.
Yeah.
Okay.
Same.
So
I met the dude through both of y'all. Yeah. That's how I met him.
I got to tell you this, Lee. You came a long way. Okay, because when I first was talking to you, you were like wide-eyed, the whole bit what you were going through.
Yeah.
Okay. And then for a while there, watching, the other thing, if you want me to watch, you got to lower it on Sunday. You know what I mean? You got to bring it down a couple hours. but I could see the transformation. Okay. I know you went through hell the whole bit like that.
Yeah.
But then I can almost see the eye opening in it and how you made the transformation. And I got to tell you, I'm proud of you, man. I really am proud of you because
I am too.
You fought the fight, brother. You fought the fight.
Yeah.
I'm
yes,
happy
you
for you.
did.
Really
and you won the fight. You didn't just fight it. You won it.
And it's all because of everybody that you deal with and stuff like that and you talk to. You know, I have no qualms. You want to talk, we'll talk. I have no problem with that whatsoever.
It has been, I started doing the daily kind of vlog, because you're a cooking channel, and when you have been on there for 430 some odd videos, you run out of shit to cook.
Yeah.
You do. Yeah.
And I was doing this
Yeah.
kind of like a lifestyle thing on Facebook and on Instagram, just putting up a quote or whatever. And I was like, these voices in my head from other people have told me, you need to write this stuff down. So of course I'm lazy. Let's just video it. Throw it up. I've been getting some good responses from doing that.
There you go.
Not for nothing, okay? But I met a lot of good people through you, through your channel and stuff like that. I mean, a lot of solid people that I still are friends with today and talk with today and stuff because of you. So there again, that's where we, when you call somebody a friend, I mean that from the bottom of my heart. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Yeah. Same here. Same here.
Brother,
Charlie, to answer your question, Charlie, about the Braves. I don't know what the heck is going on with them when they play teams that are terrible. They play down to their level for some reason. I don't get it. A's are the worst team in baseball, and they could barely pull a game out.
Two things right now, Mike. Okay, A's are coming to Vegas. Okay,
yeah,
and I just read Tom Brady's coming to the Raiders.
Ooh.
He's going to be a part owner, right?
No, that's a hockey team that he owns. No, he's going to be the QB. He's going to be the QB.
Really?
So that just read.
He unretired again.
Yeah.
Well, I thought Cam Newton was going there.
No, I don't know. We should Fig Newton.
You know what? Anybody, that man had so much talent, and you could just see the decline after he hurt his shoulder. He can barely throw the ball 30 or 40 yards away now. And before he could nail a 70-yard flight on a ball and nothing flat.
I don't know.
Cam Newton?
Yeah, Cam Newton. He could throw the ball, but he hurt his shoulder.
What made him look good was Steve Smith.
True.
When Steve Smith left, that's when Cam Newton went downhill.
We got there. Mike, this year's Super Bowl, I think I'm going to come over to Atlanta, stay over Atlanta for the Super Bowl Sunday. Because you ain't going to get around this town. You can't get around this town one way or the other.
It's in Vegas this year?
Yeah.
Yeah, we had this. We had it in Atlanta 2 or 3 times, and it's a parking lot.
Allegiant Stadium looks like a big screen TV. It's amazing with the electronics and stuff they have. But
Tom, we'll have to make a weekend of that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go over and we'll hang out.
Let's do it.
No. Let me make this statement right here. Little Debbie's.
I'll leave them at home. I'll leave them at home for you.
I'll be like the dog, Lee.
I tell you what, they love them zebra cakes.
Unbelievable.
Man.
Back in the day.
Wow. Well, we've been going at this for an hour and 18 minutes. We have 10 people in here. We've been trying to cut it down to keeping it to an hour. We haven't made that yet, I don't think. No, we get closer. We get closer.
Yeah.
My dad keeps telling me on our Sunday mornings, he goes, you got to keep it under an hour. I can't stand around that long. It all depends on what's going on. If I'm out of it and mentally I'm gone, we're done an hour. If it's the show's moving well and going, we'll go as long as it takes.
Yeah. Well, I got to tell you, the Cub, she has turned into a really good cook.
Yeah. Yep. She doesn't want to admit it sometimes, but
what cracks me up with her is when she'll be cooking, you'll see her eyes look over by you.
Yeah,
she'll look back over by you again, or she'll do something look the other way.
Well, so
I get tickled when Rusty wants to do something. She'll say, no, don't do that, don't do that.
And it's completely because it's outside of what he does. Uh-huh. So he thinks that is the way that it needs to be done. Yeah. Like, no, it ain't got to be like that. You just
That's funny.
I get a kick out of watching y'all on Sunday. I really do.
Well, so Uncle Steve sent the Texas Cajun, and he wanted an honest review of it, right?
Yeah.
So I made wings, and I shot a video on it. I made wings with the Texas Cajun, and I did half with the West Coast. And the girls were out, and they came home, and I said, "Here, sit down, try this." And I put the camera up, and I'm like videoing it, and they're like, "Okay, cool." Well, they don't like Cajun.
I love
So
it. I love it.
So they destroyed this Texas Cajun. Now I like it. It's got just kind of like an earthy, and then it goes to a heat. So it could stand for a few more herbs or whatever. But I mean, the girls they didn't like it. They tore it up, and I didn't post the video obviously, but I sent Steve just a taste test, and I said, "You want it honest? Here you go."
Yeah.
And I mean, he was like, "Hey, it's not for everybody."
No,
The
it's
girls
not.
were like, "Steve, we love you, and we love most of your shakes, but this one's just not it."
My grandsons love Gator Shake, man. They love the hell out. I give them a little bit. I got to order some.
Have you tried the West Coast?
No, not yet. No.
It is. It's almost like getting donkey punched with citrus. It is
Oh,
better
I
than
can't
Gator.
do that.
I like it better than Gator,
Really?
especially on wings.
See, I can't
See, I
do
was
that.
make-
I can't do that with the citrus. The citrus, too much citrus turns me off.
Yeah.
That's what Rusty's the same way. He's like, "I don't like that." And I was like, "That's fine."
I made all my own rubs. I made, or my seasonings and everything throughout the years. But my whole thing was I wanted to try everybody else's because you know what? That's what makes the world go round.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
And Daniel from Barbacoa Bandits, okay, his had it's great. Okay, I like all chef stuff. Okay,
Mhm.
Barbacoa. It had almost like the same as thick meat, I guess, from Steve, but it had that after black pepper. It had that black pepper taste with it. That's what I like. I like that a lot. So what I did was I took his rub and I made a liquid sauce out of it, and I did my shrimp with that. Boy, I tell you what, Marie is not Marie likes hot stuff, but not stupid hot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And she loved that sauce the way it came out. So you thin it out a little bit. So there's a lot of good people, a lot of good stuff out there. Even chefs. I like the Ghost, and I made a liquid sauce out of that also. Good stuff.
Now, with the black pepper thing, how do you think it would be with a sausage gravy?
Fantastic.
Yeah. Yes. I mean the paprika and the other. You know what, Mike? See, that's why I love this guy. Okay.
No, I've made gravy with just heavy cream and butter.
Yeah.
And instead of salt and pepper, I had Steve's thick meat. Yep. Or his cow shake. His competition cow is good in gravy.
I'm going tomorrow. I'm buying I found a couple of the different places to go to, but I found another store. In fact, it's big in Texas. Was it Wellco or something like that? No.
Oh, HEB?
Not HEB. It's another well something. I can't think of the name of it right now. But me and Marie went in there yesterday, and they had some tri-tips on sale, and it was the cheapest place I've seen for brisket. So I'm going to go tomorrow. I'm going to get a couple brisket, and I'm going to do it in my smoker. Matter of fact, in the smoker now, I have a butt going. But this weekend, I'm gonna bolster it up a little bit. Probably do it Friday. Saturday I won't do too much because I got to get ready to go play. But then I'm going to get a couple briskets, but I'm going to do it my way with different sauces and stuff like that. And that's what I enjoy doing. I mean,
are you going to do a beef tallow video like
Kevin
did?
Kevin did.
Oh man.
Oh,
I like Kevin. Boy, I tell you, Kevin, there again. Guy's got 10,000 subscribers, okay, and he's with me. Boom.
Yep.
I'll
Every
put something
time.
up, and he's right there.
Yep.
Every time. He don't miss a thing.
The liquid gold. See, we're on the same page with making your own stuff like that. That's what I like doing.
That tallow. I saw that render and I'm like, oh man, that is just rendering so perfect.
But when we got halfway, when he got to the point where he was cooking it back up in the pot, everything else that was left, or the residuals,
Yeah.
I said, man, I'd like to take a spoonful of that. And he, son of a bitch, he went dug right in there.
He started talking about putting it on a salad, and I was like,
yeah. Well, George 805, he did chicken thighs. A couple videos. I said to him, Ray, got any thighs in the freezer? But that's what I like, man. I like watching.
I get thrown. Yeah. Jason, I've been toying around with doing a chaffle with cream cheese. I mean, not cream cheese, with cottage cheese. And he actually did it. He had a video he put out. I think it came out yesterday.
Yep. I watched that one.
And it, first off, didn't work. And he kept at it. And he ended up with what looked like a decent chaffle. And I'm like, I've been toying with that in my head. And I've been wondering if it would work. And everything I came up with in my head as an idea, I'm going, no, that ain't going to work. Going to be too liquidy. It won't solidify.
After I watched that, I said to myself, self, what if you put that in one of your wire strainers, rinsed it off so you had the curds?
Right, just the curds.
Yes. Your egg.
Mm-hmm.
See, that's my next couple videos that are coming up after the one I just did today. I'm making cheese.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going back to making some cheeses and stuff like that. What I'm looking to do is probably it's going to take a year, but I'm going to make some quick cheeses and stuff like that. Some regat and some mozzarella and I used to do that all the time. We used to the first time me and Marie did it, we cracked up laughing because whole gallon of milk. I had to get all this stuff to rent it and all this. I said, by the time I get done for crying out, I can go get fresh mozzarella for half the price. You know what I mean? But it's just the art of doing it.
There's some viral videos out there that you'll see people like there's some guys on TikTok called the Pun Guys. They're in Canada, Toronto. Mm-hmm. And they did it and they made their own mozzarella. They were trying it and they're like, oh, this is horrible. Well, they left out a really important step. After they made it, after they got all the water, they didn't wash it. It's just it's got all of the all of your buttermilk in there and all, and it's still, I'm like, no, you gotta wash it. That's why it tastes like crap. That's why.
Between my neighbor, okay, Miss J,
yeah.
She called me one day. She said, Brother T, you like crema? I says, yeah. She says, I'll be right over. She came over with a nice big jar. Okay. And I tell you what, it was really good. Really, really good. And then I found the Mexican store. Went to the Mexican store and they had one whole aisle of crema. All different sizes, different ways and stuff like that. And then I started with the cheese. And then I made that one video with the tacos, okay, where I fried the queso fresco. Okay. It doesn't break apart. It just stays,
it stays.
Yeah. I don't like to deep fry it too much, but I'm going to, just brown it up a little bit. And I'm telling you, that was off the charts. I mean, that was really good. So, yeah, that's what I'm going to get back into. I'm going to start making a little bit of cheeses and stuff like that. And go from there.
Well, fellas, this has been really fun.
Yeah, yes. I've enjoyed it.
I'm glad you were able to come and join us. Has the wife made it home from work yet, Lee?
Yeah, she came. Sue, she's upstairs now working from home.
Oh, cool.
Oh, okay.
So she got done at 5:00. So that was one of the things with going through all my stuff. She went back and got a degree.
There you go.
She was able to transfer a lot of credits. And basically in my 1 year of treatments, she went back, got a degree, and with about 3 months left in her, or 1 semester left, she had a job in the field. So she's
Wow.
working from home now. It's a guaranteed 40 hours a week.
Nice.
And, you know, gives her an opportunity for benefits where the other job didn't. And
Mhm.
Tom, you know, health insurance sucks. And
Yeah.
because of when I went from short term to long term, my job didn't offer long term, but they never told us that. So basically, I lost my insurance after short term. Unless I paid the bill, then I could do that. But I couldn't afford to pay for the whole household. So this allowed her to be able to get that and, you know, get insurance and stuff, which is coming, but she still got to go through her temp service. But so it's given her that bit of freedom, or not freedom, comfort, knowing that she's got steady income,
Yeah.
she's got insurance coming. So if something does drastically change, you know, it's not a surprise. And what the hell do I do now?
Yeah, exactly.
Yep. Hey, Paralife TV, appreciate you joining us.
You know, we have to prepare for the worst and celebrate all the little things and the milestones. And
Dustin,
what's up, brother? So, anybody who's not sub to Lee, he's right there at Smoking Bears. Check him out. Great channel. Good family guy. Does everything with his kids and with his family.
oh
Can't
yeah,
beat it. Can't
great
beat
guy,
it.
great guy.
And everybody can start unsubbing for Mike because they already hit the 1,000. They don't need an emotion.
Go to Mike.
They've already started. I was up to 1,005 now. Well, what is it now? I was back, and then went down to 1,003. Still
we got
1,003. Okay.
Lee, I told him, I said, listen, I know you need to build up your watch hours and stuff like that, and I'll help you out with it. Just don't bitch and complain about it, okay?
Just keep it nice while we're on air.
Keep it nice. We'll go from there. Hey, I got a question for you.
What's up?
No, for Mike. June 7th is when, Mike?
That's next Wednesday. That's the dude. We're
So
supposed to have the dude.
You're taking the dude next weekend.
Yeah, you wanted me to do it. You said so. If you want to, it's good.
No. You need to watch hours and stuff like that. So that's
okay.
Next week. The legendary, the dude is going to be on with the Keto Show with Tom and Mike, and it's going to be on Mike's spot. So we got to advertise that. Got to put it up.
I will have the link out here shortly.
And this guy don't know about it yet.
The dude.
And there's somebody in the chat that don't know about it right now. But you know what? The Wednesday after that, okay, I'm going to twist arms. I'm going to make sure that Sleeper Barbecue comes on with me on our time.
Oh, nice.
All right. Lance. Yeah, there you go.
So I see Lance made a comment about me baking. There's a story behind that, obviously, because fat guys don't bake. Right? We eat the pastries and all that. Well, after brain surgery, you know, Pay was getting ready to graduate. So I tell my wife, I'm going to make the graduation cake. I was going to the thrift stores. I found that graduation hat cake tin. She said, why in the hell did you buy that? One, it was $1. Okay. And she said, what are you going to do? I said, I'm going to make Pay's graduation cake. She said, no, the hell you're not. I said, yes, I am. So we go back and forth. She said, you know what? I'll tell you what. If you bake the cake, you have to ice it. And I was like, yeah, okay, you know, smear some on top, whatever. No. You got to make the icing from scratch. You got to put it in a bag and you go.
Oh, that was funny.
I said, okay. Okay. So I learned how to do that. But when it come time, I said, you know, here, you make the icing because I already know how to now. We went through so much cake, it wasn't funny. But I did it. So then when Cubs, we did 2 cakes because for some reason I think that those cake tins take 2 boxes of mix. when really it's only one, but it was an excuse to make 2 cakes. So when Cubs graduation last weekend came up, I did the same thing. And of course, I made 2 cakes because I think those tins take 2 when really it's only one. So I ended up icing the other one and taking it to church group, but they were blown away because I had it covered up, and when I set it down, and they pulled the thing off, and it's iced, all nice and neat, and looks good, and sprinkles and all that, and they were like, "You made that?" You know. So there's a little story behind learning how to bake, and
that's funny.
Yeah, and getting them to come out right, because I always got problems. But yeah,
no excuses, Lance.
Lee, I want you to go back to the live where you made Rusty that cake.
Oh yeah.
And I want you to edit it down to a shorter video and put it back out, because that is gold. That is pure gold.
So that
folks, he made this cake. He got this keto cake mix and said, and his buddy, it was his buddy's birthday, Rusty, his buddy. And he says, I'm going to make him this cake. And so he got a cake tin to put it in. Now he got a cake tin that was big enough for a sheet cake.
40 people.
That's the one. That's the cake. So when I'm thinking about that, I'm like, that football, which is twice the size of the regular cake tin, but that football, and then I didn't think, oh, wait a minute. A normal cake mix is X amount of ounces. Keto is minus a third of it.
Right.
So if you get 6 or 12 ounces of cake mix, keto, you get 8.
8. Yeah.
I don't know why, but they do. Yeah. So when I'm making this graduation cake, I'm like, okay, it's basically an 8x8 kind of thing.
Yep.
Yeah.
It was a football. It looked like a soccer ball.
Oh man, that thing was like wafer thin. You could have crisped them Scooby snacks out of them. They were terrible. Now,
what happened is a cake just was disastrous looking.
It was.
And he's like, what am I going to do? How am I going to fix this? Well, in comes Mrs. Lee to the rescue. Why don't you make cake balls out of it?
That was genius.
I'm telling you, that is sheer genius.
See,
and Lee said, "Oh, he got the icing. He put it all together with the cake and mixed it all together, and then made little cake balls. And Rusty's sitting over there, and he's eating them like Tic Tacs.
Yeah,
he's popping one in his mouth. Oh, this is good. This is good. And oh yeah, I like this.
I was like, what are you talking about? I've never done this. And she's like, funny. Just do this. And I was like, let me stand back, because I'm like mind blown watching with the camera. I'm holding up watching her. And I'm like, wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Rusty ate probably half of them during the live.
He did. Yes.
Yeah.
These little cake, I call them cake balls, cake pops. That thing, or
no, Lance, no. So I was a sous chef in an Italian restaurant. Okay, so whenever now I film something I making Italian, I can feel these sharp pains in my back.
Laser beams.
And I turn around and look, and there she is. Okay, with the looks like the cartoon with the eyes coming out, hitting me with the daggers. Are you doing that right? You doing this right? I'm trying to film. Get out of here.
I love the video where you're doing something. Are you? I think you're using the Egg Life wraps, and you said, I got somebody watching me, and you could see Marie over there lurking in the corner, head poking around, and I died laughing. I
think it's because he called them linguine. These are my Egg Life wrap linguine noodles.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Egg Life wrap and linguine don't go together.
And you know what the funny part about it is? She looked at me. She went like this. Shook her head. Marie, try it. Okay. So I made homemade manigat. Okay, but I used the egg life. I wrapped it, made the mix, everything, the stuffing, everything the same. Put it in there, mixed it all up. Okay, we had it. Okay, now you know when you're looking at somebody across the table from you and they're going like this, they're not looking at you. Okay, I said, this is whatever. So I had my wine. I ate my dinner the whole bit. The next day, she says to me, "Do you want any more of this? I don't eat leftovers. I'll eat what I eat and this and that, other than if it's meat, whatever. Like if I do a Boston butter, whatever." The next day, I hear the microwave. I said to her, "What are you making?" She came in with a mouthful. So it actually was better the next day. But when I was making it, if this was like, I felt like I had a hit on me. You know what I mean? She kept looking, looking around the corner. That's not noodles. Oh, for crying out loud, leave me alone.
Well, it's bad when you're sitting there eating dinner and you just tried to make a faux something, and you call it that, and then you look across table and she's looking for the waiter. You're at the house. It's just the two of you.
Yeah.
She's looking for the waiter. Like, I don't like this.
That was a.
I devil dog.
And then Devil Dog's in the house. What's up, Devil Dog? And then, like today, okay, B and I have something in the smoker right now, so we'll deal with that later. But normally, if we're doing our live, okay, Marie will make dinner. So when we get done, she already hasn't made the whole bit. But here's what gets me. When I tell you, it gets me every time. I'll put up a short and I'll get 300 views on a short. She cooks something, tells me, make a short out of it and put it up. Put it up, 1,600. And she just grins. Just grins. Oh, well, but what are you going to do?
Just tell her, write down all your ideas and I'll work on them one at a time.
Yeah. I mean, so we go up and down with it. We crack up. You know what? Here's the thing. I've met a lot of great people. Okay. Marie's doing well with her, Meg's Mysteries and stuff. We're having fun. And that's what it's all about. I don't mind getting old. Okay. I don't want to be miserable. I don't want to be sitting in a rocking chair. I'm glad I'm doing what I'm doing. I'm glad I met everybody in the chat. I'm glad I met. And it keeps you going. It really does. Okay.
I do got to say, I've got to quit listening to Marie's stories while I'm laying in bed waiting for the melatonin to kick in.
Lee, you remember what I said?
Every time.
You remember what I said a little while ago? I can't sleep at night anymore?
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Especially she says to me, "I'll see you in the morning." And then she'll say, "Maybe."
With the little
maybe. What are you talking about?
Well, I got to tell you, she has gotten really, really good with her editing.
Yes.
I don't do none of it.
I mean, she is. I know you talked about how you turned it all over to her to do it, and she is.
Yeah.
She is excelling in her editing.
Hey, Cindy, real
Cindy.
quick. You know Cindy? Anybody know Cindy Dimitri? Check her out. Great channel. She's like us with keto. She lost over 100 some pounds. She's just getting back into it again. Check her out. Great person. Has a great channel. And just please help her.
Cindy, type keto. Type keto, yeah. Cindy, to drop your link.
Have you guys watched that? It's a new channel. He's only been on about 5 months. Called Carnivore Kit.
Yes.
I think I've seen some of it. Yeah.
He's a guy he just went carnivore.
He's in Alabama.
He's lost 70 pounds in 4 or 5 months.
Yeah.
And I mean, he's doing it for the right reasons in the right way.
Yeah. In fact, Mike, I had sent Cindy a message a week or so ago after I got sick. I'm going to have Cindy come on. She's got a great story.
I would love to hear it.
So
I'm
we're
gonna go to
gonna,
your
I'm
channel,
gonna,
Sydney.
yeah. She, I think she said she's going away in July. So I said whenever she gets back or whatever, we'll bring
That would
her
be
up
good.
and let her tell her story.
Well,
Yeah.
It's time to pull the plug on this one, fellas.
Yes, sir. My bladder's about ready to explode.
I hear you. Well, folks, check out Cindy's channel. Anybody got a live that they want to plug that for somebody that we can go to next, that people can hit them up with it next?
Check out Smoking Bear's channel. Check out Mike, please.
Lee's got a great channel. Check it out. Make sure you get those underscores in the right spot because it's hard to get it to come up.
It'll take you to a guy smoking weed.
Yeah.
Devil Dog.
Yeah.
He just got here. We're going to run another hour.
We probably could.
I have no doubt we could. We've had a ball. All righty.
I'm trying to bring Cindy up right now on the phone.
Oh, before I go.
Okay.
Where you go.
Go ahead.
I urge everybody, please go to right there. Devil Dog's helper or keeper. Devil Dog's keeper. That's Devil Dog's wife. She makes stickers. Okay. She'll beat the prices of the main, sticker mule. I'll say it. I don't care. Okay. Great stuff. Works really well with you. Help them out. Get them going. Look at that. Really good sticker.
Oh,
check her out.
Looks pretty.
Yeah.
That's a pretty sticker.
That's at Devil Dog's Keeper. Check her out. Devil Dog, did I say it right? Did I get it right? He's still in there. Okay. Anyway, that it is. Or if not, if you want to find out about it, hit me up. Send me an email and that, and I'll give you the right stuff to make sure that she gets it. Good stuff. Good people. All right, Mike.
All right, fellas, this has been fun. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. Watch Lee's live on Sunday. It's great. He does great. It's on Sunday. It comes on 9:00 on Sunday mornings, Eastern time.
I got to set the alarm. Now I got to set the alarm.
We're Eastern time.
I got to get up at 3
o'clock
you're
in the morning. You know you're going to be up anyway.
Replay is always available.
I have to watch it.
Some days it's a train wreck, and some days it's a nice show.
It's all good, man. It's all good. It's family, brother. It's family.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about.
All righty. I'm going to end it now, fellas.
All righty. We'll see you guys later.
Okay.